Hello and welcome as we are now entering the 5th day of February 2018. Everything you do within your own risk, own reward, but I'm not really going to be talking much, if any, about the technical analysis within this chart. I'm going to talk about money management. I'm going to talk about emotions mainly, and the Super Bowl, which just came to a conclusion. I talked about 6 different proposition wagers in which I was able to play 4 of the 6 cash for about a plus 65% return on investment for the game. The first 3 were winners. The first 4 were winners. The last 2 were losers. But the scoring before the punt play, this was just an easy play given the fact that it was like a 5-to-3 ratio of scores to punts for like both teams. So why am I getting better than even odds for what's more likely to happen? Easy bet. Eagles to score first. It won, but I didn't think it was that great of a wager. Both teams to lead in the 4th quarter overtime. 3-to-1 odds. Better than such for something that I thought shouldn't even been 2-to-1. Maybe 3-to-2 odds. And well, both teams did lead in the 4th quarter. Players with a pass attempt under 2.5. That was 4. So that went over the total. I am extremely surprised because Tom Brady is like the only quarterback allowed to throw the ball. And that play hurt them, I think, as they had one of their other players throw to Tom Brady, whom is supporting an injured hand and is, quite frankly, not the greatest of receivers. Thrown by a player who's not the greatest of passers. It wasn't a great pass either. Catchable, but not an easy catch, at least for Tom Brady. But then later in the game, not much after that, Nick Foles was the receiver for a touchdown. He caught a touchdown pass, one of the biggest ones of the game, done very well. And Dion Lewis over 4.5 receptions. You know, it's so tough to figure out New England Patriots receivers with Bill Belichick. I watched every single one of his plays. I was focusing to see if they'd throw to him, of course, because that's what my bet was. And every single time they had him playing when he wasn't running, and he did have about 12 or 15 carries. He only once did not block, and Brady didn't look his way during that only one play. But there's been a lot of betting going on in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I made a little bit, a few hundred. But there are people that lost thousands and tens and hundreds of thousands. Some people won, but more people lost. It's a game where the house usually wins. Last Super Bowl, they didn't. This Super Bowl, considering that the teasers, they probably did okay, especially the ones that didn't take the big moneyline bets on the Eagles early on. All right, then. So a lot of risks can happen, and I'm in the business myself. During this down run, I've lost several of tens of thousands of dollars on many different days. And I made them on the way up. When Bitcoin prices were at 10,000 about 2 months ago, my portfolio was lower in Bitcoin as it is today. I have more. I suppose it's lower in dollars, actually. It's also was lower in Bitcoin as well. But I am worth about 20% more on my crypto portfolio from early December when Bitcoin prices were 10,000 compared to today when they're at 8,300. Now, Litecoin rising in early December is a big reason for that with my high exposure to such, as it rallied several days after the fact. I also gave out a decent amount of cryptocurrencies over the Christmas vacation, bought more silver than I ever have in any quick period of time during the entire month of December and a little bit into early January. I've basically what I bought the first 2.5 years of my life, I bought during this 5-week period because cryptocurrencies allowed me the freedom to be able to do such. But I'm doing so when prices are overextended, not so much on the opposite side. Basically, you can call it tail risk, which Ben Bernanke used that term, and that if I'm wrong and cryptocurrencies are not going to be this next great thing, and I only want Bitcoin to either go sideways or up or barely go down, to profit, that is, then I'm going to be glad I do this. But I'm going to be expecting as we move into the year that these prices are going to go significantly higher. And these purchases in here, when you bought the, we'll say 100 ounces here, you could have bought 300 or 400 ounces with the same amount of Bitcoin in some future date than today. You know what? I hear you. Because the amount of Bitcoin that I spent to buy that was about the same amount that bought me 20 or 25 many months ago. That's how the game, for me, and it is a game, works out. Okay, let's talk about emotions now, because for me, when I have these down moves, I say to myself, you know what, this is part of it. You are expected to have up moves and down moves. Coming in, that was the case. So there's not even a reason to stress or even have anything like that. Not even maybe. Of course, there's always that back of your head situation. Well, what if this thing is topping and we won't see these levels for quite some time? But then I'll even go further. Well, why did I enter this crypto space to begin with? My confidence in such, and all the reasons for before remains even more so today. But even when I read the Webbot report on the end of the 25th day of December last year, which was this update here, that going through it, I'm like, geez, this thing may not go until the middle of February. Now, if I only would have had I guess you can call it the guts to sell it around 15,000, you could basically buy back almost twice the amount of Bitcoin that I had for before, and thus avoided losing tens of thousands of dollars. But you know what? The tens of thousands that I've lost are significant gains that came in from before, to the point where if I want to turn myself into a decent large crypto millionaire, you're going to have big swings up and big swings down. One of the things I look at my portfolios too is I remember early on in the month of December when the Bitcoin prices were, we'll say, barely over 10,000 or around such. And the amount that my portfolio in Canadian dollars or US dollars practically the same in relevance comparisons form is higher today than it was back then. Yet Bitcoin is lower. Now there's three things to change the numbers. Number one, Litecoin had a significant gain shortly thereafter. Number two, I've been trading cryptos, buying low, selling high, many different things. Some have been winners, most of them. Some have been losers. And even lately, I've been buying different codes, and some of them are down for me right now. So be it. For now, they're down. So I'm going to talk about entering into positions because a lot of people are down right now. And I've also given some away too over the Christmas holiday, buying physical silver. In fact, the amount of silver that I purchased from like here to like here is about the same as I bought during my first like 2.5 years of investing into physical silver. Cryptocurrencies and my successful trading have allowed me to be able to accomplish such a thing, as well be in shape to basically load the boat, but you'd be loading a vehicle with like monster box over monster box over monster box, basically a plan to buy several thousands of physical ounces of silver. I don't know yet how I'm going to do that, but that's the plan. Buy like 5,000 ounces at one time. I don't even have 5,000 ounces right now, but I plan on it. All right. So then, when you enter into positions, even regardless of where it is, you're starting off pretty much break even, and then the market's going to go up and down, and your portfolio is going to go up or down. And in a situation with codes you expect to be long-term winners, you could easily have short-term fluctuations, which I believe is what we're seeing. So therefore, if you are looking to be a buyer at any point, if you've already have bought in, this is a spot where if I could afford it, and I definitely would be planning for it, even buying today, to be entering again on cheaper prices. Now, if you try to follow the web button and go perfect on that, I mean, what a genius it would be to sell here and buy back here. However, I would only be able to do some of it. B, I've had a hard time trusting the tether that I'm just not going to do it. So for me, to protect myself in bad case scenarios, I'm just going to buy physical silver and use it as real money. The first one in ideal market conditions, and use it as real money mainly during uptrends. Okay, so that is how I'm perceiving it. Of course, when markets go higher, it's like, okay, so I'm gaining. I try not to get too excited, but you're always a little happy when things are going well in uptrends, and a little not so much when they are going down. Now, as far as different things like, it's a nice little drawing in here, but these different codes. Let me just go to something else. I mean, something like Civic, for example. And by the way, I'm looking to buy at 3,000 if you're interested in that. You could be in a situation here where you're like, okay, I want to buy, and it just keeps going lower. And then you look at what you're investing, and oh, maybe you got a couple sells in here. Oh, you might have only got a couple. And if you're selling here, you can only sell a little bit. The amount that you would be down from point A to point B in here would be incredible. So as I get in a situation where markets just keep going lower and lower and lower, and I buy, especially when I'm not getting any rallies or sell orders thereafter, it can be a little frustrating. You're going to have to wait a decent amount of time to get profits, it seems, and the amount of Bitcoin that your portfolio is worth with more tokens is always lower, and the amount that you've invested in it or how much you are down is quite a bit. But all it takes is one move like this, and you realize you go from being down to being profitable. And then what you will notice within the buy low, sell high strategy is your portfolio at this point within this trade would be significantly higher here than it was back here. In fact, you probably would be barely up or up something starting at buying at a lower price. And you would be worth more probably here than here because you sold some here, you bought back here, you sold some here. That would have been enough to, these trades here would help a little bit. But I always get a little bit nervous or like all that type of, oh man, when I enjoy sell orders a lot more than I enjoy buy orders, because sell orders is a way of realizing that you have your winning play being executed. Now, not able to show on this chart is XBY. Perfect example of such. This topped at about 1,500, 1,700 Satoshi at the start of June of last year, and then for about a half a year just continuously made lower highs and lower lows all the way down to 180 or whatever, something below 2. And it kept buy, sell, buy, sell, and the amount that I lost at XBY during that time, I really kind of traded it well where I didn't lose, but the amount that I could have made during the downtrend, or the amount I barely lost, worked out pretty good. And then the rally came in December. That was just magnificent. I mean, all the markets look like this. So I realized that, oh, well, it was supposed to happen. Markets were, I didn't read anything for the global crypto markets to do well until February. So this is all going as planned. And a lot of the stuff that goes through here is like, man, as I'm getting better at this, I realize I could have maybe found a way, oh my goodness, the only way I can think of without selling fractional cash or tether to get out of cryptos is, I don't know. I really don't know how you would do it because I can't think of it. But yeah, just future plans. Just when you have situations that you see confidently, which would be now in the next 10 days, to really start buying these altcoins crazy and looking to execute or sell a lot of them heavy when the summer begins, or when the summer or the spring ends. That's based on WebBot information. So will I end up doing that? I don't know. Well, I'm definitely going to be buying a lot. Like, I've already been doing so now. Sia coin was my last buy. I bought that about an hour ago via a buy order. Let me bring it up. Bought at 271. I think 271. It's at 280 now. My next buy order below that would be at 202. I'll be looking to sell probably at around probably around 400 next. But 400-minute time frame, maybe even higher than 400 rally. I can't remember. It's probably like 460. I've already got the sell order in. But when the markets go down like this, just want to get in on it. I have bought a decent amount of codes now, I guess on tail risk again, in case the markets just all start going up now. I want to make sure that I own some. But look to go pretty aggressive if there's another leg lower, which means, oh, this thing goes down to 202, let's buy some more. Oh, it goes down to 108, let's buy some more. That's the whole plan within it. But you buy down here, look at how much you could end up losing and winning within this type of movement. Let me just show the Poloniex chart because there's more movements on that one. Like, if you could know to sell it all anywhere north of 500 and then wait to buy it back at like under 100, well, if you knew all that over and over again, you could turn 50 bucks into $1 billion pretty fast. Let's put it that way. But as far as just playing any type of strategy that I talk about like this, especially the original one, where all you get in here are mainly sell orders. A little bit of buyback in here. Big amount of sell orders, a bit of buyback. Sell orders. The amount that you would have turned from here to here is staggering. And the amount that you turn it from here to here, that you lose. Ouch. Sell a bit here. You're worth a bit more here than here just because of one sale. But you're worth less here. You're worth less down here on the trade. And then when you get a sale here, you should be worth more here than you were here. But you should be worth less here than you were here. Markets go down, your portfolio goes down. Markets go up, they go up. Alrighty then. I'd like to thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great week. Bye-bye.